see it coming till she hits you like a heart attack. She's wild enough to shoot at. Yeah.
Flippity flop.
Wednesday evening, afternoon, about 2 o'clock or something, everybody heads back out. And Dave goes to one stand on our farm where he can watch the top half of a hillside and up on a flat. And Christopher and I decided to just go. We were only about 75, maybe 100 yards further around the side of the hill from Dave, but we dropped over where we could watch into the hollow and the other side of the hill. And Christopher got to have a really, really up close and personal encounter with a red fox. I said, I hear something. It's a red fox! Get on him, I'll stop him. So I sling the rifle up and I get him in my scope, and he's hauling the mail. Down through the hollow. Christopher, do that thing you do, Christopher. Yeah, and it sounded great. He could have cared less. Because him and Christopher were eye to eye, about 10 feet apart from each other. And there was nothing but a little reddish colored blur going out through there. So then about 45 minutes before dark, I'm sitting there and I catch something out of the corner of my eye. And I just turn my head a little bit and I can see a deer spin, and I heard that thump, thump, you know, that first initial two jumps. And then I looked at Christopher and I said, you know, that deer's headed right over there towards where Dave is. I bet we get to hear that 308 bark in a 3 minutes.
Alright folks, we're here with Wetzel, running film for Sean here. Our buddy around the hill here, we just heard the bark of his gun. We're going to go around and check it out. We got spotted and the deer ran around toward him, so we're going to go see if he got anything.
Well folks, here we are, and we don't have a recovery job because we can see her from here. We think it's her, and he dropped her where she stood, so you can follow us and walk over that way, or we'll just catch you when we get over there.
Alright folks, here we are. More meat for the table. It's definitely a trophy in my book. I hunt meat. I ain't much of an antler hunter. I'll shoot them if they got big antlers, but they don't need them.
You know, at that point, this is Wednesday. It's the end of the day on Wednesday. You know, we've only got one deer at this point, so you know the freezer's bare.
Yeah. My Wednesday evening consists of a few squirrels, and lo and behold, it's 20 minutes till dark, and I'll use better words. Another hunter decides to come ripping through on his four-wheeler.
Another inconsiderate hunter.
Yes, I'm starting to run into that a lot here lately, but he comes ripping through on his four-wheeler, stops, backs up, doesn't see me, but he's all occupied down over this way. But nevertheless, I got up to head back towards the field. I was probably 120 yards off the field and on this oak flat. So I go back to the field, and I come to the field, and I have 4 does and fawns over here. I have 2 that's already ran down the point in the field here. I look way out, and there stand 6 more. So I had 12 to, and then there was a few that jumped up in the brush on the edge of the field when I got back. Somewhere between 12 to 14 does and fawns that I know of. There may have been a small buck that just hadn't made it to the field yet.
So that brings us to Thanksgiving Day, and for those of you who aren't in West Virginia, you don't understand what a tradition this is.
Yeah.
If you're not in the woods Thanksgiving morning, then you can't even call yourself a deer hunter, even if you're just a part-time deer hunter.
Right.
The one day out of the year that you hunt is Thanksgiving morning.
You see everybody up the holler that you know, and a lot of their family too. It can be frustrating, but it's still.
It also can be really cool because there's so many people in the woods. The deer are they're just moving.
Right.
And luckily this was the best weather day we've had.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Wind was calm. It was cold this morning. What was it? 36, 37 degrees this morning.
Yeah.
Clear skies.
Clear skies. So it was an absolute beautiful morning. You decided to put some more meat in the freezer this morning.
Yeah. Well, you know, there again, we still didn't have a whole lot of meat in the freezer. You know, because we're actually headed home.
And we bought a loaf of bread the other night and just went ahead and ate Dave's dough.
Yeah, ate the little dough. But anyway, so you know, first thing this morning, you know, just was shooting. You know, shooting light was just up good enough. You can see through the scopes good. You know, had couple deer come in where I was at, Teresa up in the top of a holler I was in. Big doe, young one with her, you know, one yearling or so. Decided to go ahead and lay down another big doe. There again, also great managed practice besides the meat factor. She was substantial size. You know, she's a good sized doe. So my morning was over pretty quick. You know, I think I was out of the woods, completely out of the woods, and changed clothes by 8:30.
Well, and that wraps up the Team Wetzel Tennessee portion of West Virginia rifle season. We were going to be here a couple extra days, but Dave's daughter is getting ready to have a baby.
It's coming early.
And he's going to be a grandpa. I'm going to be a god grandpa.
That's right.
And she had a couple of complications, but everything's great with the baby. Everything's fine with her.
But we need to get back to Tennessee.
But we got to go back to Tennessee tomorrow because if she doesn't have a baby by Monday, she's going to have a baby Tuesday, whether she wants to or not.
They're taking it.
And so we need to get him back home so he can be there just in case the baby comes this weekend. So we're going to head out and head back to Tennessee tomorrow, probably afternoon or something.
Yeah. West Virginia, I'm tagged out for my bow. Still have my gun and be making a lot of trips to Ohio.
Well, we still have until January. Yeah. So yeah, for bow and rifle.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, thank you all for joining us. We sure appreciate it, and we'll be back with more footage. But as for our West Virginia rifle hunt, that's been that, and
we got a freezer full of meat.
Got a freezer full of meat. And thanks to you guys for watching. Thanks for sticking around with us. This is Team Wetzel saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Y'all later.
Crazy like a fox, howling like an alley cat, sneaking up slow, bite you like a diamondback you'll never see.